Table Talk with Brenda Perryman is brought to you by Livingston Family Dentistry.
Livingston Family Dentistry knows that good dental care ensures overall wellness, and healthy teeth and gums can perfect your smile. With over 30 years of experience, Dr. Ronald and Dr. Blake Livingston take the time to explain every treatment. Their modern office and friendly staff are committed to making you feel comfortable, informed, and satisfied. Located at 13724 Woodward in Highland Park, call now 313-883-3050. If your teeth are not becoming to you,
then you should be coming to us.
Good morning, and welcome to a very special Table Talk today. I have some wonderful gentlemen with me. You could see them. I have Ronrico Lee and Mr. Carl Payne. And minute I said Carl Payne, put it on Facebook or whatever, or mentioned it yesterday, everyone was saying, Carl Payne, they weren't saying Cole, they weren't saying cockroach, they said, oh, when I said Ronrico, they said, oh, survivor's remorse, he's the manager. I said, goodness, everybody got a reaction. How are you gentlemen doing?
Thank you, awesome.
I'm great. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm happy for you all to be here too. And you're here in town, you're doing the play, the theater version of Two Can Play That Game, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
When you saw the movie originally, did you ever think that you'd be doing this?
I don't think so.
I didn't. When I saw the movie, I was like, man, I wish I was in this movie.
But how old were you when you saw the movie?
I wasn't old. I was old enough to be in the movie. I was definitely old enough to be in the movie. But no, I was excited. I heard Carl and I worked together, we worked together one other time on another play, and but we never really got a chance to work together. So this is finally our chance to do that. And the rest of the cast is great, so we're having fun.
It's so funny looking at Carl. I think about the fact that my kids were young when we gather around the television at 8 o'clock, I think, on Thursday nights to see The Cosby Show. And Carl, you look exactly the same. Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I'm just blessed.
You're just blessed?
Yeah, I get it from my mama.
From your mother.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little louder so my Facebook Live people?
I get it from my mama.
And let's do a little background first, and then we're going to talk about your roles in the play. Okay, Carl, who do you play?
I play Tony, which in the original version was played by Anthony Anderson.
Oh, the sidekick.
I wouldn't call him that.
Oh, well.
I would call him.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. I remember.
I wouldn't call him.
He
that.
was always hitting it.
I think he was actually the star of the show. Yeah.
Okay. So what is his motive? What does he do? What is his...
He's the antagonist. I think he's the one who pretty much sets everything in motion. He's the one who starts the game between the battle of the sexes.
Yeah, and it does. There is a battle, and we're going to talk about that too. Okay, Ronrico, what's your character?
My character is Dwayne, and Dwayne is kind of one of Tony's pupils, if you will. But he's torn because he's got a great girlfriend and he wants to do right by her, but he just can't quite get it right. And so he comes to a crossroad. He has to make a very important decision. He got to get it together, or he's gonna lose this woman.
Wow.
It's a big decision.
We're going to show some clips in a moment. So if you're watching on Facebook Live, you could just go on the computer at www.tv33whpr.com or turn on your television to Comcast 91 if you're in Detroit. But so are your character, Tony, is he an instigator?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I think, but he it's coming from a good place. He's basically challenges Keith, who's the main character, to, he puts his resolve to the test where he basically says, listen, you want to get married, but you're not ready. So he puts him to the test.
Now, how is Tony different than you are?
Not much.
Oh, hello.
Not much. Yeah, I will definitely, Well, I mean, I wouldn't probably suggest playing a game with someone, but I would definitely say, hey, listen, if you're not ready, don't do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ronrico,
Yes.
so you want to do right by your girlfriend, but
Yes.
you're listening to that character?
I'm listening. I'm learning. I'm not quite sure if I'm buying into it, but yeah, you got to see the play to see what Dwayne does. But just know that in Dwayne's heart, he's a good guy. He just like a lot of men, we just had to grow up at it, and.
I know.
Uh-oh.
Men grow up a little differently than
We do,
women.
don't we?
Yes.
We do.
Carl, where are you originally from?
New York by way of South Carolina,
I was born in South Carolina. What part?
a little small town called Clinton.
I was in a town so small that when I went looking for the hospital I was born in, I walked into a cotton field.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that kind. It was
That's
Kingstree,
Yeah.
a little bitty
It's
town.
crazy.
Yeah.
South Carolinian. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Give me some, brother. Hmm.
South Kakalaki.
Right. That's what they say.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. So, how did you get to show business?
Oh wow! Because my father, his family's actually from New York. That's how I was raised in New York, and that's where I got my
What
start.
borough?
Harlem.
Oh, my brother was born in Harlem Hospital. We
Wow.
have a lot in
Yeah,
common.
you know
Look at
what? I
us.
feel like I'm in the wrong seat.
You
Okay.
stop it.
So then what? Then what? You were in Harlem. Then
Yeah, actually, I got my start. There was a girl at my school who I had a crush on, and I used to follow her around all the time. And she was into the arts. She was into dance, which is how I actually got started. And everywhere she went, I would go. And one day, she was actually a part of this thing called the First All Children's Theater, which is an off-Broadway repertory company. And they were having auditions one day, and I just decided to do it because she said, you should try out. I was like, okay.
you were impressing her too, but you wanted to.
I just like being around her.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
we
and
like that, don't we, ladies?
I think everyone always asks me that question, but at the end of the day, I think the real answer is because I said yes. Like every time I was asked to do something, I said yes.
Every time you were asked to do something good, you
Yeah.
said yes,
Yeah.
or that may be a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, because I really was not an outgoing kid. Like I was very shy. I was not outspoken at all. But it looked like fun, so I said, okay.
So you danced, and then how did you get into acting?
Again, she was a part of this company called the First All Children's Theater, which is a off-Broadway company, and they were like having auditions for new students, and I just auditioned, and then that's where I kind of got my start. And then from there, I developed a taste for, the theater, the theatrics.
Theater.
And then I went on to go to the High School of Performing Arts, which is the fame school. And from there, Howard University, and so on and so on. And
Bison.
all day.
All day. What about you, Ronrico?
I don't know. My mother, I had one of those mothers that just kind of wanted me to touch everything, so I did it all. I played a little piano growing up, drums.
Oh, my
took
grandmother made
dance.
us play the piano. Like
Yeah.
you had to play. You had to have a skill set of some sort.
Yeah, that's the kind of house I was. My mother just was determined to have this well-rounded, kid. Now, my father had me in sports. So I played baseball, but I was born in Decatur, Illinois, and so I took a few classes here and there. I remember my mother had me take a class at the Montgomery Ward. I was the only kid in there, and it was a speech class. But really, what it was like an ESL class, and so there were a lot of people in there that English was their second language. But my mother thought it'd be a good idea for me to take it, just to work on my diction and just to become articulate. So anyway, ended up leaving Decatur, Illinois, and moved to Atlanta. Couldn't play baseball one summer for financial reasons, and my mother said, well, you're not going to sit around here and do nothing. So she got me into some modeling. The modeling turned into me doing some theater, taking a bunch of classes at the Alliance Theater in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, I know
Yeah,
Alliance.
yeah. This is before Kenny Leon and
Yeah.
his wife were there. But that was my introduction to theater, and I took every class I could take. That ended up, I somehow met an agent there in Atlanta. Before I knew it, I was auditioning for some of the feature films that were coming through Atlanta.
So did you get in any of them?
The feature films I did actually. It's
Like
funny.
what?
It's funny. It was yesterday was Thursday, so I did a Throwback Thursday on my Instagram, and I found an old movie still of my first film, and it was called The Return of Swamp Thing, and it was
Return of
not
the
the
Swamp.
first one. It was
the
the
Swamp
Return.
Thing.
So he left, and then when he came back, they wanted to make another movie, and that was The Return.
So how old were you?
I was 11.
Did you get killed?
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't. It was me and another dude in there.
There's a different black guy that died
Yeah,
first.
yeah, they were. Yeah.
Oh,
It
a
wasn't
black
me.
guy did
Yeah,
die,
yeah.
though.
He was an adult.
Okay.
They wasn't gonna kill a black kid, and that you just couldn't do, even in the 80s.
I know.
But
The
I did that.
80s.
Yeah, late 80s.
You know,
late 80s.
both of you still found the Fountain of Youth. I know
Yeah.
how old you are. I looked it
no,
up.
don't tell nobody.
I ain't telling.
Don't tell.
But and what other any other films we might know?
Yeah, I was in. After that film, I did Glory. I was.
What were you in Glory?
I was the mute drummer boy. So it was like it
Oh.
was a part that they kind of created, and so it'd be like I'd be at work or I'd be at the hotel. But man, I think we want the mute drummer boy in this scene. So they called me, get me out of school, and I come in, had to take drum lessons every day. But I had some great scenes with Denzel Washington, who won an Academy Award
Yeah.
for that role, and
or that tear he
that
shed,
tear.
that one
I was
tear.
right there when
I
I
w-
was right there. I was right there on the like watching it.
Well, when I was watching it in the movies, I saw that tear. I said, Oscar.
I said it too.
Okay, Carl.
Yes.
Now, is comedy your main genre of acting?
No, it's just something that I happen to get famous for.
Yeah, because they say that many comedic actors can be the best dramatic actors, and I really love to see you.
That was my forte for a long time because that's the training that we had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would love to see you in.
Well, this year I have a lot of stuff coming out that you'll be get a chance to see that. So
Oh, good. I gotta. Are you on Instagram?
I am.
I gotta follow you. I gotta follow both of you now. So let's look at a clip from. Well, it's the trailer of Two Can Play That Game.
Curious Johnson is back with another hit show. Two Can Play That Game. The movie you love is now a stage play. When men start playing around, women will even the score. Starring the one and only Vivica A. Fox. From Survivor's Remorse, Ronrico Lee, Portia Williams from The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Gary Jordan from Being Mary Jane, comedian Coco Brown, Carl Payne from Martin, from Scandal, it's Columbus Short, and R&B sensation Vivian Green. October 20th and 21st at the Music Hall.
We're back.
Look at that.
Well, I saw you two up there on that. So we have some still shots too. So as soon as fella can put them on, we'll look. There we go. There we go. That's Columbus Short
Columbus,
and Gary
yeah, Vivica.
and Vivica.
I think that's Columbus and Vivica hugging up, booed up as the kids.
Booed up.
That's what the kids-
That's what the kids
Right,
say. Booed. There's Carl and you.
That's me. That's me there.
Isn't that Carl too?
Yeah, that's Carl.
Carl, you dressing sharp.
Yeah.
Because in the other Jacarius thing, you had on some big gold shoes or something on some.
Yeah, it's a different kind of pimp.
Oh Lord,
Yeah.
there should be one more. Yeah. And that's who's that? That's
That's Columbus and Carl.
Columbus and Carl. What are you doing there? Telling him what?
Telling him how it is. I'm giving him some. Actually,
Schooling him.
yeah. I think that's where I was asking him, like tell the truth and shame the devil. You did.
Well, I'm going to ask you all a couple more things. Do you think there is a battle of the sexes, and do you think it's just confined to certain age groups?
It's always a battle of the sexes, and no, it's not. I mean, it's ageless, It's, we're always trying to understand each other at the end of the day,
Okay. What about you, Rodrigo?
Do I think it's? I mean, oh gosh, maybe a little bit. I think. Well, no, I think as
No,
you get. I think. Well, let me say this: when you're younger, I definitely think there's a lot of it going on. I think as you get older, I'm married. And I've been married for 7 years, and I think
7 years.
7
wow.
years. That's not. It's not.
No,
on my own.
congratulations.
Thank you. But I do think that as you get older, you have to constantly be mindful of that and trying to get away from it. I think now that's what we're trying to do is just get right to it. What you need, what you want, what you want, what you need. You tell me, I tell you, and let's make this thing happen. You know, you get away from that. Whereas, you know, when you're younger, it's kind of like, you know, you start arguing, fighting.
Well,
about silly
yeah,
stuff.
because you don't know you're exploring this territory.
Exactly.
And sometimes people look at relationships on television and think that,
Oh, it's true. I've done that definitely. I've probably driven my wife crazy trying to. I compare everything to the Huxtables. Like, you know, you want. I do. She gets so sick of hearing it. But it's just because that's the relationship I grew up really idolizing as a kid. It's Cliff and Claire, and you know, it's like, you know. But it was a great example for both. You know, Cliff jumped in there, he cooked, he did his thing. Claire jumped in there, did her thing. It was really an equally yoked. But again, you know, that's marriage. That's on TV.
well, it takes a lot of compromise. I tell you, it doesn't stop. You know, even as old as I am, there's still some games being
Still out there
played.
playing
I
games.
just said that.
Brenda out there playing games.
Well, you know, you gotta. You know,
can see it,
here's
though.
the
I
thing.
can tell.
Here's the thing. No,
Y'all laugh. I
people play it too cool. You know, because you don't want to show your hand until the other person shows
True.
their hand.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, because I kind of wrote it in a poem. I have played it cool, be no fool so long. I think I've overplayed my hand, the hand I wanted you to hold. Not knowing when to hold, fold, walk away, or run to you or from you was a flaw in my cool, be no fool demeanor.
Hey,
Stop it.
Yeah.
You just dropped some game on us,
Oh,
and I didn't even know that's what I was.
well, that's, you know,
God
but
need to
people,
put that in the play, man. Like,
but people do. I'm a writer, you know.
I might have to have. I think Dwayne should say that. I shouldn't have said that. I should have just tonight on the show just been like, fellas, hold on, I got something to say.
I have played it cool. But anyway, seriously though, don't you think that people try to play it too cool in relationships, and does that happen in the show?
I think it definitely happens in the show. I mean, I think we see now. I think with my character, you kind of see my character lose it, which I kind of like actually. And then, but you see his character try to get my character, keep it together, man. You can't look like this in front of the lady. So I definitely think it's all about perception. You know how women perceive us as men, and you know, we want them to look at us a certain way.
Yeah, I know. But one of you tell us exactly the plot in case people forgot what this this play is about, because Jacarius adapted it for the stage.
it's about, at the end of the day, you know, love. You know, I mean, we do as people, we play these games with each other. You know, it's always like a cat and mouse type of situation, and at the end of the day, somebody has to submit. Somebody has to give in. You know, it's the truth.
That's the
I
truth.
mean, somebody has to win and somebody has to lose, but you both win when you submit to love.
Because it's
Boom.
about truth, though. Isn't it about truth, Carl?
Boom.
Okay.
I think that's his way of saying it is.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we're really excited. And what do you all have some things coming up that we can watch out for? Carl?
I have several TV shows. One called Step Up. It's on YouTube Red. It's a takeoff from the movie Step Up, which is being executive produced by Channing Tatum.
Really?
Neo's in it, along with Faison Love and a host of others. I have another show on the UMC network, which is Bob Johnson's new network. Bob Johnson, who started and founded BET. UMC, his new network, original programming called Fifth Ward. It's about Fifth Ward area in Houston, Texas.
Is that a tenement?
No, it's not a tenement, so to speak, but it's an area. So it's like
They call it the Fifth Ward?
Yeah. Like they have wards in Houston. 3rd Ward, 5th Ward.
New Orleans is like that.
So you know, Scarface is from there. It's a bunch of. So it's you know, I play a councilman. It's very.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah. So this is all the stuff that you'll see where you get to see the dramatic side. It's kind of like House of Cards, if you will.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
House of Cards.
Yeah. Then I have a show I did here called The Detroiters on Comedy Central.
Oh, yeah.
It's very funny.
In fact, the young lady I saw last night is in
play?
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Shantae. Yeah,
Yeah.
Shantae.
Yes.
Shantae, she's been on the show a number of times, and she made a movie, and I was in the movie.
So, just some good stuff coming.
Right, right. Great.
Yeah.
Congratulations. What about you, Ron Rico?
Man, I wish I could say I was as busy as this brother here. I got to get him my headshot and resume when we finish. But no, actually, I've been wanting to direct for a long time, like a long, long, long time. And so finally, God willing, I'll be getting that opportunity earlier next year in January. A small film that we're going to shoot in Atlanta called Masters. Kind of about millennials, and a young man gets his master's and thinks that, the world should open up and everything
Right.
should be grand, and it's
Right.
not. And so he has to kind of come to grips with that he's still more work to do. But we'll start pre-production in that. Actually, next week we'll do a table read, and then we'll start rehearsals as soon as I wrap this. And,
Wow.
that's what I'm really excited about.
Is Survivor's Remorse coming on again?
Unfortunately, they decided to wrap us up after the fourth season. So,
Because
so
they had a lot of fans
we
about
did. We had a lot of fans, but it's the kind of thing that happens. I think if
That's
you've
the
been in
business.
television, and it wasn't a surprise to me. They had kind of taken the show in a direction that I knew it might be a tough sell for our audience and our fan base to actually grow our numbers, and so the numbers didn't grow. They kind of stayed steady, and they decided to end the show. But like I say, we got 4 great years out of it. and,
Right.
it definitely stretched me as an actor, and so I'm excited to see.
You bought a
to
house?
see.
No, I'm just
Did-
I'm kidding.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did.
No. Oh, wow. You have 2 children,
I
right?
got 2 boys. I do. 2
Oh,
young
wow.
boys. And
So he's married and has a family,
Yeah,
everybody.
I
So,
do.
what about you, Carl?
25 years, 4 sons.
Wow. Great. You only look 25, too. So you all had a baby with. Okay. These are 2 of the young men who are going to be, can play that game. And it opens tonight.
Tonight and tomorrow at the Music Hall.
And it is Sweetest Day weekend.
that's right, ladies.
So
Check your man out.
check it out. You could go to the Music Hall website. Any place else, I'll ask Jacarius. We'll be back in just a minute with Jacarius Johnson and Tawana Braxton. Is it Tawana?
Tawanda.
Tawanda
That E in
Braxton.
there.
Yes, who's acting in the play. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Jacarius Johnson is back with another hit show. 2 can play that game. The movie you love is now a stage play. When men start playing around, women will even the score. Starring the one and only Vivica A. Fox. From Survivor's Remorse, Rodrigo Lee. Portia Williams from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Gary Jordan from Being Mary Jane. Comedian Coco Brown. Carl Payne from Martin. From Scandal, it's Columbus Short. And R&B sensation Vivian Green. October 20th and 21st at the Music Hall.
Table Talk with Brenda Perryman is brought to you by Livingston Family Dentistry.
Livingston Family Dentistry knows that good dental care ensures overall wellness, and healthy teeth and gums can perfect your smile. With over 30 years of experience, Dr. Ronald and Dr. Blake Livingston take the time to explain every treatment. Their modern office and friendly staff are committed to making you feel comfortable, informed, and satisfied. Located at 13724 Woodward in Highland Park, call now 313-883-3050. If your teeth are not becoming to you,
Then you should be coming to us.
I am back. I am back. Let's see these 2 wonderful people. We have Jacarius Johnson,
How you doing?
friend of the show. He's
Absolutely.
back. And we also have Tawanda Braxton, one of
Hi,
the
everybody.
Braxtons. So we're not Swiss cheese over here.
Absolutely.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Is this your first time in Detroit?
Actually, it's not. I've been here several times before when I used to be Tony's doo-wop pop pop chick. So I was here quite a few times. I love Detroit. It's a little cold, but I love it.
Oh, it's kind of cold, but really, this is bonus.
That's
it's
what I
usually
heard.
colder
I heard it was
than this.
colder, but it's cold to me. I bring my Uggs everywhere I go, thank God.
Oh, wow. Those boots.
I love them.
Oh, wow. Jacarius.
There you go.
You want-
Darius. I know.
Jacarius, I'm sorry. But anyway, welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, let's find out a little bit about these two people. And Tawanda, you know, I didn't realize till you came up here. I said, wait a minute, I saw her on the Braxton show. This is Toni Braxton's sister and the other Braxton.
All of us. It's 5 girls and one.
Name the
Braxton.
girls.
I'm
Name-
Braxton. It's Toni, Tracy, Tawanda, Trina, and Tamar. And I also have a brother named Michael.
Right, poor Michael.
No love.
He gets a lot of love, actually. My brother's actually a prankster. I mean, growing up, we got in so much trouble because of my brother. He did a lot of different things. Like if we would date somebody, he would embarrass us. Like he would come downstairs with toilet tissue stuck out of his pants. And I mean, you know, he would do some crazy stuff.
Brothers are horrible like that. My
Yeah.
brother used to do the same thing. And then when I'd have friends over when my mother wasn't home, they had to come in the house and pay him as they came through the door.
Wow.
And then I had to promise to teach him a dance step. I mean,
What
it
did you
was
teach him? What
I'd
did you teach
only
him?
do one step.
Okay, what's your one step? Can I see your one step?
No, it
please?
was just one step.
Okay.
Just one step. He said, "Ma," he said, "she was supposed to teach me the whole dance." One step. But brothers can be something. So he's younger in the.
He's actually next to the oldest is Tony and then my brother.
Was he protective?
Yeah, pretty much. But we were like each other's best friends, so we really didn't go outside of our family for a long time.
Oh wow. So
I got all sisters. That's interesting.
See,
I
you
got
the-
I
are
got,
you
I
the
got
only
all
boy?
sisters, but I got close to a brother. I got a lesbian sister
You know,
who
Oh.
all her girlfriends would try to date me. So
oh my goodness.
yeah, that's about as close.
That's it.
That's it.
but you're the only boy,
I'm the only
so you
man.
get it.
I
So
get
you
it.
probably terrorized your sisters too, so you
Absolutely.
understand.
As much as I could.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, you probably did. All sisters.
All sisters.
Oh, I have brothers. So, Tawanda.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you all are originally from where?
Maryland,
What part?
born and raised, Severn, Maryland.
Okay. Okay. And how did you all? You sing too. I
Yes,
mean,
ma'am.
so
Everybody in the family sings. My mother actually taught us all how to sing. She was like an amateur opera singer. And back in the day, she was offered to be in a group, and she was like, I don't want to do this. So she met my dad, and they got married and had 6 of us. And we were born and raised in the church. We were like my father's personal choir. So everywhere he went, we sang for him.
Oh wow, that's
Mhm.
great. That is totally great. Um,
Wish I could sing.
Everybody can sing, but it doesn't mean you sound good.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
well,
tone deaf.
Jacarius, we could be in
tone
the
deaf.
same group. I can't sing. I cannot sing, but I know a lot of singers. And no, but besides that, remember I've directed plays and musicals,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I know how the sound.
Yes,
I know
ma'am.
what sounds
You have a good
wrong,
ear.
don't you?
I
Yes,
do,
ma'am.
but
Yeah.
when I try it, it doesn't come out the way that
Well,
I hear it.
but in my car, it comes out just the way the record goes, right?
Of course.
Yeah, in my car it does. So, Tawanda, have you
Yes,
been
ma'am.
acting a long time or what?
Actually, you know what? This is the story. When I was in college, I went to
Where'd
Bowie
you
State
go?
University.
Oh, no, Bowie
Yes, I
State.
went to Bowie, and at my father's church, it was a professor named Professor Cooper, and he put on a show that was called Dream Girls. It was off Broadway, of course. It was in Annapolis, and he said, I think you guys, the Braxton girls would be great doing the Dream Girls. So he was like, I think you should be Laurel, and I was like, okay. And then he was like, oh my God, you have a raw talent. I want to give you a scholarship to Howard University in the theater department. And I didn't take it because I wanted to continue doing the family business that was singing. So now that we're doing different things in our lives, I'm just reliving my own dream. So that's why I'm here now.
Wow, that is fabulous, fabulous. Because it's never too late.
Absolutely.
Now, who do you play?
Well, I play a lot of people.
Yeah. She's black, but she got like a Jamaican thing in this.
Absolutely.
She's like 3-4 different characters.
Yeah. And I sing. It depends on what night you come. So you have to
Yeah.
come and, try to figure out which night you're going to be there. So
So
tonight,
you're just here 2 nights?
2 nights before shows.
Right.
We have 3 shows on Saturday. One at 1:30, one at 5, and another one at 8:30. And then we have a Friday night show, which is tonight at 8 p.m.
Wow. So you play different, you have a lot of jobs. You're Jamaican.
I am.
So yes, if you come to all 4 shows, she'll be playing 4 different roles.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay, Jacarius. Jacarius, did I say it right?
You got it right. You got it right.
I feel so bad for mispronouncing it first. But what made you decide to take this film and adapt it?
Well, I think at the time when the film came out, it was kind of a pioneer of its time, dealing with relationships where there was kind of a woman kind of in control of everything and running the situation. So I think that's, being married, that seems to be the thing today, a woman in control and running the situation. So I decided to really delve into the comedy of it, because it was an interesting concept where people play games every single day. We wake up and we play games to get what we want out of life. It's out of relationships, out of life, out of your boss, out of your friends. So the concept of games was intriguing to me.
Yeah. A lot of times people don't even know they're playing a game. I mean, if you say, well, I'm not going to call him, I'm not calling him ever, he got to call me. Just little things like that.
Absolutely. All of those are games. And everything a man does is really for a woman. Whether we trying to attract them.
Tell me about that.
Let me take some notes, because I'm newly divorced. Hold on.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, I mean, think about it. We work hard to try to become financially sound in order to provide. The cars we drive, the clothes we wear, everything that we do is to impress. And that's why when some guys come up to a woman and they start talking to them, they start talking about what they have, which is not always the right way to go, but guys can sometimes confuse that with this is my value, because before you get to know me, all you know is either what I can do for you or what my conversation is, and that's it. And in that finite moment,
what I could do for you. I just heard that. What I could do for you. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell the audience, if you wanted to call in, 313-868-1311, I believe that is, or is that 1311? We have a different phone today, so we have a different phone number today. Anyway, so you say what they can do for you. Mm-hmm. I got to get back to that. What do you mean by that?
Well,
break that down a little more.
Well, okay, so there are roles in society, unfortunately, and even though some are reversed, where women are doing more and women are getting more jobs, at the end of the day, I don't care how strong a woman is and how independent she is. I think deep down she wants to be independently dependent, meaning she can do for herself but don't have to do for herself. She can take out the trash but don't want to take out the trash. She can't, like she can do these things.
In fact, the person who takes my trash back and out is out of town, so I need someone to pick up my trash today.
Please,
my trash can.
Pick out Miss Brenda's trash, please. Thank you.
Yes, I do. I said, how is that trash can going to get back to the back?
Yes, Brenda, I don't do trash.
I
don't do that.
Oh,
either.
girl, I know. But, I think, Jacarius, that a lot of times if a woman really digs somebody,
right,
she does not necessarily isn't looking to be that dependent. I don't know, maybe it's with age, you're looking to just a nice companion, someone you're compatible with.
And they have to be honest.
Honest.
But look, I think standards change over time. I mean, I do think that's a fact. We wake up as dreamers. Even when you're youthful, you think you can conquer the world. Then the world gets a hold of you and you realize, okay, it's not going to be as easy as I thought.
But
I still can conquer, but I'm going to have to put in a little effort. And then as you go along, you either succeed or you don't get the desired results, and your outlook begins to shift, and the same thing happens in relationships.
Well, with maturity, though, as you grow, and I'm not talking about myself necessarily, but with maturity, you start realizing you may be stronger than you thought you were.
Absolutely.
You may be smarter than you thought you were. And then sometimes when you start to exhibit those traits, your partners can get a little intimidated. What do you think?
I absolutely agree with you, Miss Brenda.
disagree.
I agree
I
with you, Miss.
disagree.
But it takes a very strong man to be with an independent woman.
Thank
Well,
you.
It does. It takes a
Golly.
very strong man, mentally and emotionally. You have to be strong. And then when you're in a relationship with because every woman in my family have very strong personalities. So
We know.
Right. So it has to take a strong man, even if he's quiet. You got to be strong emotionally to deal with it, because and secure. You have to be secure. All that jealousy is not going to work. And you have to be honest. Yeah. You have to be able to say, listen, you doing this is not working. And then you have to create boundaries, because if you don't create boundaries, we'll stomp all over them.
Yeah, to me, that's a communication factor, right? We have to be able to, two people have to be able to communicate with each other where each of us can hear each other and listen to each other. And with that, it's not about me being strong. It's about you understanding how to handle me, and I understand how to handle you. Therefore, an issue of power and strength becomes irrelevant because it's consideration for one another. And so we
Right,
have
that's true.
consideration for each other.
But
then it's
don't you
that.
think, and they should grow together?
Absolutely.
Grow together. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Because
we were like, huh?
oh my goodness. Oh, wow. I mean, but true. We were at an impasse for a minute. We were at an impasse. So, tell the audience a little more about what the show is about.
It's two could play that game. It's basically about two people trying to, actually more than two, trying to get what they want from each other and the games they go through just to conquer this thing called love. We, men and women, wake up every day and really deep down, whether we admit it or not, we just want a fulfilling relationship, a fulfilling career, and a fulfilling life all together.
Yes.
And it takes each other, meaning us looking for women and women looking for us in order to accomplish that. But the games we play along the way sometimes sets us back instead of moving forward. So the moral of this piece is hey, if we actually stop the games, be honest, and say what it is we want, God will give us exactly what it is that we're asking for.
Oh my goodness. That's so deep. That's so good. That is so, no, but that's the truth, you know. Yeah, that's the truth. You have to be honest. Honest is,
Absolutely.
you got to break it down and be truthful. You got to, you know, but because of the games, people tend not to be so truthful.
Right.
Yeah, I've had, like, in my single life, you know, it's the concept of, excuse me, why do women give less to the man she likes versus the man that she could care less whether she sees him ever again? And I used to get that, like, I like you, and because I like you, there was all these limitations and boundaries, but this Negro over here, who you really don't like, who you just gonna have a fling with or a moment with, you actually give him the best parts of you, but you want to give me your long term. But the barrier of getting to the long term is that I'm going through a series of tests. Versus there is no test on this guy. This guy is just in and out.
Because we know they're no good.
Well, but why had a fingerprint on your window pane and then come to me and I'm supposed to see you like clearly?
Differently.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, you know, coming up in the world, a lot of times girls go for the bad guy or the got a little thug in him.
you sound
Am
like
I-
You gotta have a little bit.
Little
Of
thug, little
soft.
thug in him.
Can't be too soft.
I mean, because if you're a strong woman, I mean, when I say thug, not necessarily thug with you, but thug on the outside, and you sitting back. You don't have a beard, but you're doing like this. You like that, but sometimes you got to grow to know that this good person is probably the right person for you. And then you have to be careful. You just have to be careful. I remember somebody telling me this 30-something years ago, before I ever thought that I'd be on television a lot. They said, Brenda, and this was a guy. This was a guy who liked me. He said, Brenda, just always be careful for what you do because you don't want to be on television and somebody saying, I had her, I had her, I had her.
because we don't want her.
Right,
They
right.
do now. Seems like they do now. They married the hoes now. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
Sorry, Miss
really,
Brenda.
really, say
They
it, say
do.
it,
They
say
married
it.
them now.
Remember,
It's like
you
it's
could get
in
in on
now.
this conversation, 313-868-0331. 0331.
Those are women.
313-868-0331. But
They are
yeah.
winning now. I don't get it. I'm like, what? I was doing it the wrong way.
Well,
No, you
But
weren't.
no, that makes you think. That makes women think now. Like, dang, I have to be like this in order to get that now.
well, but you know what that is, right? They're not really playing the same game.
No, they're not.
They come up and say, this is what I want, this is what it takes, this is what it is. So a man can make an intelligent decision and say, hey, okay, I know what it is. I'm going to jump right in. But when you start playing the games trying to get to marriage, because they don't even bring up marriage. Marriage is irrelevant to the hoes. They coming in.
Right,
saying,
right.
They
You're
get
right.
that money though.
But they end up at marriage they end up by not bringing it up because of the one of the things that I think a man fears the most is to enter into a relationship where the agenda on her side is marriage. Not that he can't get there. He can warm up to you and get there on his own. But when the agenda is marriage, why are you trying to take me so fast? Why are you trying to lock me down? Why are
Wow.
you trying to do this to me? You know, so
So that's why the whole
Wow.
winning.
That's what in one of my poems I said, "Don't take me too fast.
Yeah.
Come by tomorrow, but call before you do."
Yeah, you,
Listen, Miss Brenda, where is your book?
Oh,
Where's the
I
book
have
of
them in-
poetry?
I
I
have-
need one of those.
I have one in the car. I have one in the car. I'll give it to you when
Thank
we leave. But that's the way I do. But that's true. Don't take them too fast. Sometimes you want that other person to kind of take the lead so you can see where they're going too. You know, and
I dated a doctor that was older than me, and I mean, in 6 months, she went from like just meeting to trying to get married and talking about if she need to have a baby. And I'm saying, hold on a second.
no.
What they got to do with me? I just met you 6 months ago. I'm not ready. I'm in my 20s. You 36, and you telling me this is what has to happen.
36?
Oh, her
I'm like,
clock
no,
was
yeah.
was tick tick tick
No.
tick.
So,
tick.
but see, you got to know where you are. You know what I'm saying? Because catching a man at the right time is everything.
Yeah.
Men go through phases, so we oscillate.
So what phase are you in?
Well, I'm married, so I'm in the husband phase.
Okay.
But you got the whole phase, you got transition phase, and you got the marriage phase. You know?
Oh, wait, that older, younger man, you're flattered by the affection I feel for you, and are probably dismissing it as the mere folly of an older woman. But you couldn't be further from the truth. I am overwhelmed by this, by you. The sight of you takes my breath away, and I must fight to contain myself. Anyway, I won't go on. But I understand that.
No, look.
I understand that. I understand exactly what you're saying. But if a person with that age disparity, I don't know why would they look at somebody in their 20s and think that right away he could give her everything she wants. Because if she's so demanding prior, imagine what it would be.
Absolutely, yeah. We never made it.
I know.
You know, and I found out she had been engaged. I was the 5th engagement that never made it to the altar.
Golly.
And I said, I don't know how you self-sabotage these relationships, but you know, you got to just be upfront with people. Let them know, because I could have saved you the time once you told me that this is where you were, because we were so far apart in that sense that I wouldn't have wasted your time. I'd have directed you probably to a more qualified, suitable mate.
Oh, director, you're going to be a director
Okay.
on and off the stage, huh? Well, tell us, Jacarius, tell the audience about some of the other plays, the names of some of the other plays, and I know that they will recognize the other plays you've done.
Well, the last 2 plays were sequels, which was Married but Single, which was Lisa Ray in that particular one, and then Married but Single 2, which Lisa Ray, Bill Bellamy, Shantae Moore. Obviously, Carl was in both of those shows.
She had a song.
She got a
Shantae's
man.
got a
She
man
got a
now.
man.
Shantae got a man.
And then I did Things Your Man Won't Do, which had Leon, Tashina Arnold, Wendy Raquel. And then obviously when you keep going back, I did my first time working with Vivica was Whatever She Wants with her and Boris Kojo and Richard
I
Roundtree.
met Boris early this year.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's a really
Handsome
nice.
man.
Nice
Yeah,
man.
yeah, really nice.
He's really tall,
He
too.
is. And
He
handsome.
speaks a bunch of languages.
He does.
Yeah,
He does.
German and all of that. Hey, Mr. Cutie Pie.
Yeah.
Say, Mr. Catch My Eye. But, yeah, and this cast, it's a great cast. Tell the audience once again, two can play this game, who's in the cast.
Well, this is by far the largest cast in the history of all plays. Obviously, you have Miss Tawanda Braxton in the show. Yes. You have Vivica Fox. You have
Vivica A. Fox.
Vivica A. Fox. You have Ronrico, who was here earlier, and Carl Payne. You have Vivian Green.
Beautiful voice.
Beautiful voice.
Just-
Isn't she?
And her spirit is
wait a
so
minute.
great.
Is she the one who's supposed to be playing in The Bodyguard? No.
No, that's
that's
Deborah
Deborah
Cox.
Cox.
Deborah Cox.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
I get those two mixed up.
Emotional roller coaster. That's Vivian Green.
Okay.
And then she said, okay. It's like, please stop.
I know. That's what I get. I get that all the time. I'm your sister, though.
Yes, you are. Columbus Short.
Yes.
is in
Yeah,
the piece.
I'm glad to see him working.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I
yes.
am happy to see him
He's
working.
so talented. I think
He's
people
very
underestimate
Right.
how talented he is. I mean, the man, plays like 3, 4 instruments. Obviously, he could dance. You saw him in Stomp the Yard. And people don't know that he actually, it's like a trivia. How many people in this cast can actually sing that you don't even know can sing? But you got to come to the show to find out. And obviously, you got Gary Dourdan.
He's so
from-
cute.
He's so fine.
Isn't he fine?
Oh my
Jesus.
gosh, when he had his locks, I just said,
I like the lock. Now
"Oh,
it was so cute.
Aquaman.
Yes, he's so
Anyway,
cute.
I'm sorry. We got to calm
Green
down.
eyes. Every time
He's
he
cute,
walk
though.
in, folks get lost
He's
in
so
his green
suave,
eyes.
though.
Oh my gosh, he just looked so profound to me, like he was, roots. Anyway, so,
Just growing out of straight out the African ground in a
I
coffee bean.
know, I know, but he just seems so. Anyway, go on. Who else?
Oh my God, who else is in here?
Jacarius.
Portia.
Portia Williams from
Wait,
the Housewives of
Do you
Atlanta.
know? I'm not a giant fan of hers, but she was in another play on that show
With Candy.
with Candy, and when I saw Portia do her read, she was very good.
Yeah.
I said, now this is something she might be able to do.
Well, I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised at how good she is. She's really, really good. in
I
the show.
know. I
Really
was
good.
pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly surprised about that. What about so Vivica plays the same role that she played in the film?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. The leading lady. She's Shantae Smith, owner of a publicity firm that basically is going to teach her man a lesson. If you want to look elsewhere, then two could play that game.
Well, it's funny because there was a movie, music, I'm a Motown person. The hunter gets captured by the game. Do you
Yeah.
know that song?
I don't.
The
The
hunter gets captured by,
This is a musical?
Who's singing?
no, it's a song, the Marvelettes.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Marvelettes.
yeah.
The hunter,
Okay.
yeah. I won't sing Jacarius. The hunter gets captured by the game. It's that kind of, it reminds me of that theme. And because sometimes when we're playing a game, game knows game.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And that's what people don't realize. Some people think they're bigger than the game. But nobody is bigger than the game. Nobody is. And I'm a firm believer in that. The game is that abstract thing over there that is the top of the heap.
Yes.
That's why you can hate the player. You just can't hate the game.
And that's right. We use it all kind of hate the player, not the game. Absolutely. So, Jacarius, how long have you been touring this show?
This is the actual premiere. This is the world premiere.
Detroit.
You
Detroit.
always come to
You-
Detroit.
Yes, you are the opening tonight.
Oh, there are a lot
8
of people.
o'clock.
Last night, it's funny. Last night at the play, and this is the one Ella Joyce is in. There were people talking about, yeah, we're going to play at the music hall tomorrow. There were
Oh,
people
good.
during the intermission and before. They said we're going downtown tomorrow to another play. We just doing plays all week.
Oh,
so
nice.
Well, they're in for a treat.
Yeah.
You've never seen anything like this. Get ready to laugh. Get ready to hear some great music and probably one of the most unpredictable shows you've ever seen. And you're going to have to participate because it's audience interaction in this situation.
Oh gosh!
Not in a bad way, but a good
Wait a
way.
In a
minute.
good
Once
way.
I took my students because I taught drama. Was an acting teacher, still an acting coach, but I took my students down to Fox Theater. Blue Cross Blue Shield said, "Bring your students," because we were doing a program for them. So they fed them, and then we sat in loge seats. And then Russ Parr comes out on the stage before the show. Leon was in this show with his fine self. But anyway, Leon was in this show. And Russ Parr came out and he said to the audience, I just want to tell you that the actors cannot talk back to you. And my student said, Miss Perryman, why do you say that? I said, you'll see. And sure enough, the second Leon got ready to hug a woman, get your hands off of her. I mean, people yelling from the audience, different things. I don't know. I don't care for that.
Well, Two Can Play That Game. The movie, she talked to the audience through the
Yeah,
camera.
she did.
So it's different.
She broke the fourth wall.
So it's not. I'm not talking about like that kind of talking. I'm talking about there is an interaction because the characters break the fourth wall as a style of the piece, staying consistent with the film.
Right. Well, one thing about it is the audience loves to be involved.
Oh, yeah.
Black theater sometimes I call it participatory
Absolutely.
theater because they will the whole everybody's in the play. Everybody is a piece of that play, and they've done. I've heard some horror stories. I know you have some about the audiences.
Oh yeah, they talk when you don't want them to talk, and you want them to listen sometimes.
Right.
But Billy D. Williams had a difficult time with that. I think he had never done.
He was
a play.
in which one?
He was in The Maintenance Man.
The maintenance man. Huh? Okay. Oh, sorry.
You want my arm to fall off, but he was he
right. Lady sings the blues.
yeah, look he when he first like the first few markets and they were talking back to him, because they would just scream, "Oh, Billy, you're my man."
Lord.
He was like, "I'm trying to do a scene up here," and I was like, "Billy, you're just gonna have to take this. Like, take it and just win them with the performance, but you can't break.
You
to
can't
entertain
break.
That. That's like
You can't talk back
No,
to
you
the
can't talk back.
audience.
Right, right.
do that.
I mean, or I love Brian Piccolo. He was my friend. You are too young to know
Brian's
that. It was
song.
Brian's
Brian's
song.
song, yeah.
I love Brian Piccolo. He was my friend. I've never that and you want my arm to fall off. Are
Right,
his
right,
two lines for me. I'm so proud of you, Jacarius. What's next?
I'm doing Set It Off the musical.
Stop.
Yeah, Set It Off the musical is coming now.
Ella and I were just talking about that because she played the detective in
Yeah.
Set It Off the musical.
The movie.
The movie.
Yes.
The movie.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm doing Set It Off the musical,
Yeah.
and I'm doing the Luther Vandross story. Those
The
are
Luther.
Yeah, I got to deal with the estate, so we're gonna do
That's
the Luther
amazing.
Vandross story. And when I tell you,
My friend did the arrangement for Never Too Much.
Really?
Paul Rice.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I talk to him
We
every
actually went
day.
on tour with Luther Vandross. We opened for Luther Vandross in 1996.
Look at that.
All right.
That's right.
All right.
We sure
right.
did. We were one of the groups that he actually really liked.
Yeah.
Right, because
Yes,
he was
'cause
really didn't
did.
like
he
a
was
lot of people.
choosy. He was
Yes,
choosy.
he
I
was.
read
Yeah,
about
he
it.
requested us. He requested for the Braxtons to open up.
The
Well,
Luther
well, I can tell you
Vandross
this, you're gonna
story.
learn some things that you absolutely did not know, because he was probably a legend, but no one really knew much about him.
Right.
And so the estate has certainly given me the
That's amazing.
the autonomy to go ahead.
Oh
and-
my God,
and let
Jacarius,
you
you
know,
gotta let me
lift it
know
up,
about
see.
that.
Absolutely.
We need to work. But no, I'm serious. Those are kind of things I like to work on. But what I was gonna tell, the first one you said, Set It Off the musical.
Absolutely. Set It Off the musical. It's going to be amazing.
Are you gonna have a revolving stage or a set?
It's going to be several different pieces. So it's going to be some LED, some. It's going to be a combination of real and LED pieces, because it's so many different locations that you can't just create a realistic set for. So you have to
Right.
go
I
in and
know.
out. Yeah.
I know. I was wondering how you were gonna do that, and this is just fabulous.
Now that will be interactive because the bank robberies, we're gonna rob you
Okay.
in the audience.
Okay,
All
you
the
hear
way up.
that, audience
Yeah,
member?
we coming through.
Empty your
Like,
pockets
empty
before
your pockets.
before you get there.
But we're not gonna take nothing. We just gonna.
Yeah, I
Right.
know. But what I like about that is, and I've done this before, they've had to come into the audience
Absolutely.
for different things, and I think that's going to be great, Jacarius.
It's gonna be
When
really
do you
good.
project that happening?
March. We'll be in Detroit in March.
That's
You
March
heard
next
it
year.
here, everybody. You heard it here.
Absolutely.
Let's tell everybody again about the music, about Two Can Play That Game, when it is, and
Detroit, Two Can Play That Game opens tonight, the world premiere. You got to be in the house. It's at 8 o'clock at the Music Hall. We have 3 shows tomorrow, which is Sweetest Day. If you want to catch an early show at 1:30, you want to catch a midday show and do lunch first and then come to the show, it's at 5 o'clock. And then if you want to go to the night show, which is at 8:30, all 3 of them are going to be great, and you're going to get something different in every single show. So you got 4 opportunities in 2 days on Sweetest Day weekend.
And my student, I hear, makes a cameo, Coco.
Yes.
She was one of my students.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Hey, I'm not chopped liver about up in here, but this is great. This is just great. So everybody, go get your tickets. You could go online at themusichall.org.
Ticketmaster.com.
Ticketmaster.
Go to the box office.
Box office. That's what I was going to say. Make sure you could talk about them tickets at the
Absolutely.
box office. So thank you, Tawanda. It's a
Yes,
pleasure.
ma'am. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You are my sister.
Thank you, and I love your glasses. It's my favorite store in the whole wide world.
Oh, my real glasses broke. I mean,
I
these are
love
my
those.
these are my real glasses, but I had some other ones that bigger and they broke, so I had to go to my backups. These are my backups.
Ooh, Tiffany is
Yeah, a backup. That's what I mean.
Okay. Jacarius, thank you. Tell hello to your wife.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll see you next week, everybody. I'll see you Monday morning, in fact, at 7. All right. Thank
bless.
you.